Evening, everyone. My name is Monroe Mann. Today I'm putting on my lawyer hat and we're going to be talking about contract law. This is such an important topic for anybody, whether learning about contracts, learning about the basics of contract negotiation, learning to basically just get it in writing. And I'm hoping that at the end of this, if the only thing that you take away from this video is this newfound law that you have with yourself, this pact that you make with yourself, that you do not do anything without a contract. Now, the first thing that I'm going to tell you is also something that cannot be done all the time. The first thing is always read a contract before you sign it. And that's 100% what you should always do, is read a contract before you sign it. But in this world where we're all forced to use these electronic devices and go on and use these electronic services, they all have terms of services. And we are unable to read everything that is in those contracts. Every time you upgrade your phone, you have to scroll through a whole bunch of stuff and click I agree. You don't even think about it, but that is a contract. And it's technically called a contract of adhesion, which means because you had no ability to negotiate it, you might be able to fight it in court, but you might not. So I want to, yes, you should read everything, and ideally you should read every single contract, even contracts of adhesion, even these terms of services. But let's put that aside, and let's only focus on the contracts that you actually have some control over. For example, if you're auditioning for America's Got Talent and you get accepted and you're going to appear on that show, it's like a 200-page contract. It is huge. And you are not going to be able to negotiate one word of it. It's such an amazing opportunity. It's take it or leave it. And if you look at that contract for America's Got Talent, you're basically owned by the producers of AGT for a period of time. You are required to perform most of your income. A lot of it's going to them, this and that. They're going to control your appearance. They're going to control your this. This is why you'll often see someone like Susan Boyle, who appears just on stage as somebody who is kind of frumpy and kind of like a farmer and clueless. Dum-dum-dum, but I'm going to sing for you. And then, hey, what's up, Federico? And then you see them at the finale. Suddenly, Susan Boyle is beautiful hair. She's in a dress. The truth is, I kind of like the Susan Boyle who was frumpy, but the producers turned her into something else. There's this new guy that just did Don't Stop Believin'. Richard, I think his name is. If you haven't watched AGT recently, go search for America's Got Talent Richard and watch his performance. He's like the new Susan Boyle. And I guarantee you by the finals, he's going to be completely different. He's going to be wearing a suit. He's going to lose weight. Anyway, a lot of that is based on the producers directing what these performers do based on the contract that they are forced to sign, a contract of adhesion. You can't do much with those. If you want to be on America's Got Talent, you got to sign that. If you want to use your iPhone or YouTube, you all signed a very long contract with YouTube when you agreed to create your YouTube account or your Gmail account. You can try to fight those contract terms in court, but you're probably not going to be able to. By the way, the five of you that are there, we're talking about contract law. I have a background in entertainment law and business contracts, and we're going to be talking about entertainment law in general and contract law in general. Hey, what's up, Michael? Are there any unofficial shortcuts when it comes to reading contracts? Well, my friend Federico, he's on the line here too. What's up? What's up, Edits X777? Great to see you. Please, guys, click like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. if you want a really great contract tool, analysis tool, use ChatGPT. And I'm a lawyer, and I should be telling you to hire me. But honestly, if you just want someone to review your contract to figure out what the heck it says, to turn it from all that legal language into human speak, you can just use ChatGPT. Upload, copy and paste the contents of that contract into ChatGPT, and you can use the free version. You don't need to upgrade to the fancy $20 a month. It is, right now, it's 9 o'clock in New York edits. Yeah, and as Federico says, ChatGPT is not legal advice, but it will help you to summarize what the main points are. So then, if you want to go talk to a lawyer, you don't have to spend so much time because the ChatGPT kind of summarized it for you. Which comes to the most important lesson, number one. Most important lesson number one, read every contract. Even if you sign up for something like Google or Gmail or YouTube, because of ChatGPT, you can just copy that contract, pop it into ChatGPT, and just say, can you summarize the main points of this agreement? And what are the main issues that I might see in the future? At least you have some idea. Again, it doesn't mean you can negotiate these contracts with Google, with YouTube, with Apple, with America's Got Talent. But at least you know. For example, with Facebook and most of these tech companies, you give up your right to a trial by jury. You may not think that's a big deal right now, but you should know that the only way you're going to be able to really take these people to court is through arbitration, which is outside of court. And at least you'll know when you're making decisions, you're not going to say, I'm going to take you to court, or I'm going to do this because if they screw me, I'm going to sue them and take them to a jury trial. Well, probably you can't. So at least read every contract that you sign. And as I said, ChatGPT is a tool that you can use to at least get a summary of what is going on with those contracts. Let's take away of these big contracts of adhesion and just talk about smaller contracts. Let's say you're going to, I'll use a show business analogy. You and your friend decide you're going to write a screenplay together. Let's say your friend writes the original contract. Don't trust your friend. It's great that he's your friend, but what's up, Beach Baby? As soon as you guys are doing something creative or business related, it's not friendship anymore, it is business. So that's great that your friend said, hey, I wrote the contract, I took care of it, just sign it and we'll get started. Don't sign that contract yet. Read it. And as I said, if you don't feel like you're comfortable with the law, at least put it into ChatGPT. Best case is you actually hire a contract attorney, such as me, to go over it and make sure that it is not only in your best interest, but in their best interests. And you're thinking, wait a second, why would I hire you as an attorney to make sure that it's in the other person's best interest? Well, hey, Beach Baby, you're back now, so I'm happy to have you. The answer is, you don't want to piss off your business partner by making a contract that only helps you, because then you're going to make the other person feel like you don't care about them, that you are a jerk, that you're a sneaky, sleazy business person, and that you're greedy and that you don't care about them. You want everybody who signs a contract to be happy. Now, when I say happy, it doesn't mean everybody gets exactly what they want. But every contract should end in a win-win as best as possible. You might have, like America's Got Talent, they have the power to just say, yo, you've got to sign this contract or you're not coming on AGT. But I guarantee you it pisses off a lot of these artists eventually when they realize they signed something when they were very eager and unknown. And then once they become famous, they look at their contract and they go, what? I have to do this? I have to give this much money to AGT? I have to get Simon Cowell's approval before I get another manager. I have to do this. I have to do that. So you don't want to do that. If you have the ability to negotiate tete-a-tete, head-to-head with your business partner, don't use your power and go, ha, 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 I'm able to get an extra 20% out of them and screw him because he needs the business. Yeah, you're going to win the battle. You're going to lose the war. You're going to get the contract right now, and then they're going to badmouth you. For the next 2 years, they're going to tell you don't do business with that guy because he just pushed so hard. Try to make everybody happy. Again, going back to what does happy mean? It doesn't mean everyone gets what they want. It means everyone feels that it was a good negotiation, and you can smile at the end of the day and say, you know what, we did a good negotiation here. Why do you want that? Because then you can move forward and continue to be friendly business partners. So many times I see people negotiate and one person uses force to make the other person cave, but now they have to work together and there's great animosity. Maybe that's unavoidable at sometimes, but you should do your best to try to make it good for everybody. Now, talking about how it should be in your favor. So first we talked about how I want to make sure that you're keeping the other person's interest in mind. You also want to keep your interests in mind. Don't be a pushover. Just like you don't want to push the other person, don't accept something that you feel is unfair to you and gives the other person an unfair advantage. This is what negotiation is. And there's an interesting tactic in contract negotiation that helps you to get what you want. Let's say you don't want something that they're forcing it on you, and you go, no. Like, let's say you want $10,000, but they're insisting on $5,000. You can potentially agree to only do it for $5,000, but only if they then give you something else on your list that they now have to agree to extra. In other words, fine, I'll take $5,000 less, but now you got to give me something else that's worth $5,000 to me. Could be anything. It could be, let's say you guys are just doing the screenplay negotiation, and it's just about you guys are going to write a screenplay together, and then this person says something, blah, 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 and the other guy goes, I want to direct. And you're like, ugh, I didn't want him to direct, but okay, fine. But then you're thinking, you know what you want? I want to star in it. So you can say, fine, we're going to co-write the screenplay. I will agree that you will direct it, but we're going to put in the contract that I am going to star in it. If starring in it is worth giving up the director's hat. Never just cave in, because that shows weakness. Don't just say, oh, okay, fine, okay, fine, you can direct it. And then, no, fine, you can direct it, but only if I am starring in it. Because then, like I said, it's a win-win. If you just say yes to your friend forcing you to agree that he is the director, then that person just won. That person just pushed you into the corner and now got more because he's a bully. But if you're a good negotiator, you can say, all right, let's do that, but only if I star in it. And then maybe he comes back and goes, all right, fine, you can star in it. So I direct it, you star in it, but I want to have final say on casting. And that's how it goes, back and forth. And you go, ugh. And then maybe it's something that you don't want at all. Let's say you definitely do not want your friend to cast the film. What do you need to do? You need to negotiate. Put your foot down and say, look, I want to leave that open for now. I want to make sure that we keep all of our options open because maybe there's someone else who's better to cast the film. So sometimes you can, attract more bees with honey. Show that the possibility for the film to succeed may be better if we keep it open to a different casting director coming in. And you're thinking, well, we talked about that. I thought this was contract law. I thought this was about how to do. This is because what ends up, all right, we'll see you soon, Beach. What happens first in a contract is you have to negotiate it. And this is another tip. Just because you negotiate it and then your partner or whatever says, hey, I wrote it all up, don't you sign that thing until you first reread it and make sure that everything that he wrote up or she wrote up in that contract is exactly what you've discussed. It may not be, either deliberately or just an oversight. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I got sidetracked and I got a phone call and I didn't put that last contract point in there. Please put some effort into making sure that you know what you are signing. Why do you want to make sure that you know what you're signing? A contract is there to make sure that everybody is on the same page. Contract is there to make sure that everybody knows who is responsible for what. If you have a very generic contract, and let's do a different example. Let's say both of you are starting a restaurant, and all you put in there is John and Mary are, let's say, not going to go in a rabbit hole, but could you claim that a contract you signed is not legally binding? Of course. That's what people do all the time. You could claim that you were drunk when you signed it, or the other person was drunk. You could claim that it's a contract of adhesion and therefore you had no negotiation power. There's a thing called unconscionability, meaning nobody in their right mind would sign something like this because it's so horrible that society should not allow the enforcement of this contract. If a minor signs a contract, someone who's under 18, then that contract is legally not binding. So that's why if a child actor wants to act, the contract needs to be signed by a parent or guardian, somebody who's older. If the agency or the production company has the minor sign it, it's basically there is no contract because that child has no legal authority to do that. So yeah, the answer is yes. And this is what you hire lawyers for. This is why you pay big bucks because you're trying to get out of a contract. A lawyer cannot get you out of every contract, but if there is a loophole somewhere, like I said, unconscionability, maybe the parties didn't have legal authority to sign the contract, any of those, then yeah, you can potentially get out of a contract. I've gotten out of contracts many, many, many times. Sometimes the easy way to get out of a contract is just you don't abide by it, and you hope that the other person doesn't file a lawsuit against you. It's a big strategic risk, but that's also part of the doing business and dealing with lawyers and contracts. What is the likelihood that if you breach this contract, you're going to get sued? Mikhail, I know you're in the military. I was in the military too. You don't want to breach the contract of enlistment with the U.S. Army because you're going to get caught. You're going to be AWOL. You're going to get Article 14, 15. I forget about what that's called. And you're going to get into big trouble. That is a contract that Uncle Sam does not let you get out of very easily. But are there some people who have somehow finagled their way out of the military? 100%. And people tried. There was a guy that was in basic training with me, and he got out. I don't know what he claimed. Maybe insanity. Maybe, I don't know. But if there is a contract, there's sometimes always a way to get out of it. So some more comments. I also think contracts that explicitly say that something to be done is illegal might not be enforceable. Yeah, you cannot contract to do something illegal. So it's so funny, the concept of a contract killer, like an assassin. If you hire a hitman, they're called a contract killer, but it's like an oxymoron. Because you can't have a contract to be a killer in the civilian world anyway. I can't hire Federico to go, kill you, Mikhail, and have a contract, and then Federico goes to court and says, Monroe didn't pay me for my efforts. That's just silly, because assassination in the civilian world is illegal. Therefore, you cannot make a contract for that. And therefore, the contracts, this is why in many ways the mob, the mafia, how do they enforce their contracts? I'm going to break your face, right? I'm going to break your knees. Because they cannot go to court to get that contract enforced because whatever contract they have is illegal to begin with. So their court system is brute force and fear and intimidation. And there's an argument that maybe that's what's happening to our legal system now. That's another story. It's pretty crazy. I don't like what's going on in the United States. We'll talk about that maybe some other day. We'll stick to contracts right now rather than criminal law. Too many people sign contracts so quickly because they're so eager to get whatever the other person's offering. And this idea of a contract is not just legal. It could be with relationships too. I'm a sucker for a pretty face, unfortunately. And I met this really pretty woman the other day at some meeting. And usually I don't meet with people just one-on-one unless they pay me for my time, because it's valuable if they want to get specific information. And I was just mesmerized by this offer. When I say the offer, it was the pretty face on this girl. And she just said, oh, I'd love to get together with you and talk for an hour. I got so many questions to ask you and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure, that sounds great. Later, before I met with her, I realized, I sat down and said, Monroe, what the heck are you doing? You got entranced by this offer, and you basically were you signed this contract to go see this. You almost signed this contract to go meet this girl. And if it were anybody else, if it were some guy, I would have just said very clearly, hey, my rate is $400 an hour if you want to sit down with me and get my advice on something. But I didn't, because I was so eager to meet with this potential quote unquote business opportunity. But it's the same thing. I was so eager. I was about to just sign the contract without even realizing, Monroe, what the heck are you doing? And I caught it before I went in, and I'm glad I did, because I felt I was being taken advantage of. And I think pretty women know that they're pretty, and more so than pretty guys taking advantage of women, because men are suckers, more suckers for pretty faces than women are suckers for males, for pretty, handsome guys. I think, let me go back to the contract side of it. I don't want you to sign a contract with somebody, meaning agree to anything, before you really clearly think about it, only because you're thinking, oh my gosh, great opportunity. And then you realize, oh my gosh, what the heck did I do? How the heck did I agree? Hey, what's up, Violetta? How did I agree to get into this mess? The answer is, you got too excited and you signed the contract before you should have. And when I say sign the contract, right now I'm talking about in general. What's going on? We're talking about contracts, not only contracts, legal contracts in the world, like when you're doing business with somebody, but also just the idea of contracts when you agree to meet somebody. That's a contract. If you say, hey, I'll meet you tomorrow at 5 o'clock in front of the marina, and you shake on it, that's a contract. You just agreed to meet somebody. And what I'm trying to tell you all to do is be careful about agreeing to something too quickly. I don't want you to get into trouble. When someone says, it's a take it or leave it offer, sign it right now or I'm gone forever, I would be very scared of anybody who says that. And there are very, very few people who have offers that are so amazing that it's really a take it or leave it right now. If I walk out the store, I will never give you this offer again. Most of the time, they are bluffing. Even in relationships, if you don't do this, I'm walking out this door and you will never see me again. Sometimes that's true, but at the same time, could be a bluff. You don't really know for sure, and I don't want you to get signed up with blood or whatever with somebody for something because you feel pressured into making the decision. And this is the strange thing about contract law and negotiation and stuff. If you wait too long, you could lose the opportunity. It's a fine dance. You have to dance. You don't want to keep delaying making a decision. I did that once with a girl who really liked me. And I did that with a lot of girls who really liked me. And I feel like an idiot because I feel like I lost out on so many potential great relationships because they said, look, you got to, Monroe, hey, do you want to be my boyfriend? I go, oh, no, well, oh. Next thing I know, guess what? They found someone else to be their boyfriends. And I kick myself and go, ugh, you idiot. And that's why the cockiness can somehow screw you over. I thought I was so desirable and that I had all the time in the world to make a decision, but you don't. What's up, NatCon? Great to have you back. And hey, Violetta, just tell your mom to send me an email. We'll do a live stream together. I told you. But I need to hear from her. I need to have something in writing that it's approved. But get in touch with me about that. People think of contract law as just something very legal. I'm just going to get a fan because it's a little hot in here. That contract law is just legal stuff. It's not just legal because it also has to do with the psychological factors of negotiation. A good contract should simply be the distillation of everything that you negotiated that makes both sides or all sides in the negotiation very happy. Because what's the point of a contract? It's only there for when things go wrong. Think about that. I'm going to say that again. The purpose of a contract is to make things easier when things go wrong. What's up, Nacho? So, just as a quick interlude, I did a TEDx talk recently in New York City called 8 Words That Will Change Your Life Forever. If you go on Google, on YouTube and search for Monroe Mann TEDx, you'll find it. Nacho, the guy that's in the chat right there, he also did a TEDx talk recently in Texas, and his is coming out in about 2 or 3 weeks. Subscribe to his channel, Nacho Ruiz Hens, because he's going to have some really cool content coming out very soon. He's just getting started with his YouTube channel. And Federico also came to New York to see me. Both of these guys came to New York City on April 22nd, 2024, to see me speak. And I'm grateful that Nacho and Federico are back here in this live stream, also watching me speak. What's up, guys? And we're talking about, again, contracts and negotiation. And I said that contracts are there when something goes wrong. What does that mean? After you negotiate a contract or a handshake, let's just say I just make a handshake with one of you and say, hey, I'll meet you at the movie theater tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And you say, got it, Monroe, I'll be there. Guess what? We just did a negotiation. I made an offer. Meet me at the movie theater at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And you accepted that offer. Yes, I'll be there. I'll meet you there. Now there is a contract. It's a verbal contract, an oral contract. We didn't do it in writing, unless, of course, I follow up on text message and say, hey, just a reminder, we're meeting at the movie theater tomorrow at 2. But either way, it's still there as a contract. Let's say I go there tomorrow at 2 p.m. and you're not there. And I'm thinking, this is weird, huh? All right, let me give 5 minutes. Let me wait 5 minutes to see, because maybe you'll show up. 5 minutes later, you're still not there. I wait 10 minutes. I wait 30 minutes. You're still not there. I send you let's stop right there. You were not there. What just happened? It's a breach of contract. I made an offer. You made an acceptance. We both agreed that we're going to meet at the movie theater. I was there. I upheld my part of the bargain. You didn't show up. That's why I was saying contracts are there when something goes wrong. Because what am I going to do? Pick up the phone and go, hey Violetta, hey Nacho, hey Federico, whomever. Where are you? Federico is going to know that I'm calling him about that breach of contract. If he remembers, maybe he's going to say, well, what are you talking about? I said, hey, we're supposed to be at the movie theater at 2 p.m. It's 2:30. I've been waiting for you half an hour. And then he goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I had an emergency and I had to help my friend with a medical emergency or this or that, blah, 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 blah. Why did he feel this regret? Why did he start apologizing? Because he knew there was a contract and he knew that he breached that contract. That is the key. That's what I'm trying to help you to understand. I'm not just talking about contract law for businesses. You are doing negotiation and contracts every single day. We have a contract right now. The contract is, I am going to talk and you are going to be able to watch me. If suddenly I just disappear, you guys are probably going to be disappointed and go, at least for 10 seconds, and go, what the heck happened? Until something else finds your interest. Actually, yesterday, my Wi-Fi went out for about 20 seconds and the connection went off. But you guys all stayed on here. The viewers stayed on. And when I came back, I saw there was a bunch of chat messages. And YouTube was smart enough to know that, hey, Monroe made a contract with his viewers. So if there's a lost Wi-Fi connection, let's not end the live stream. Let's keep it going for the people that are there watching so that they can watch and chat until, I don't know how long YouTube would allow me to be off of Wi-Fi before it cuts off the live stream. But I was grateful that YouTube knew enough that we have this contract. YouTube is a part of the contract too, right? You and I are depending on YouTube to provide this interface, this digital interface for this to work. I also have a contract with Apple that the phone, camera, and microphone is going to continue to work. You don't need a microphone right now for this live stream, but you need a phone or a computer, and you need speakers. That's also a contract that you have with your computer provider. I mean, the amount of contracts going on just in this live stream is absolutely amazing. All of you have a contract with each other in the live chat. What contract is that? That you're not going to start spamming. I've had a bunch of people who start spamming, and some of you have been here, and some of you have said, hey, stop spamming. Why? Because you realized they were violating the contract, because they were ruining the experience for you and for others. I also sometimes have to go in with some of the people who are making chat messages and block them. As a streamer, I can block somebody for 1 minute, for 5 minutes, for 20 minutes, for an hour, or forever. And so I haven't blocked anyone forever because I figure I'll give somebody else another try. But if somebody comes back again who was spamming before, they just breached the contract with us, with me, with you, with YouTube twice. I'm a big fan of giving people a second chance. I'm not a fan of giving people a third chance. Why do when I negotiate with people, like to give people second chances? There are so many times in my life when something genuinely, I just made a mistake, a innocent mistake that was not intentional, and I lost an opportunity. And I would go back and ask for forgiveness, and they said no. And I tried to say, I am truly atoning for my sins. I'm so sorry that I made this mistake. Please give me a second chance. This has been with women. This has been with friends. This has been with job opportunities. This has been with family member, whatever. And it's always upset me when they don't give me an opportunity to fix the error that I made. And in some ways, I'm grateful that these people were so stubbornly refusing to give me a second chance, because I realized how wrong they were to not give me this second chance. And so now what I like to always do is give second chances to people. So when I'm writing contracts, I always allow people to have a second chance. It's not just a one strike and you're out. This feels like you're preaching to us. You're the only one talking teacher lessons. Well, unfortunately, YouTube streaming doesn't allow you guys to talk back I'm hoping someday they eventually allow that to happen where I can give one of you the microphone for 1 minute or something. That would be kind of neat. And then you could just talk speaking. And yeah, Violetta, I try to do different streams. I'm experimenting with different things. Some of the things are more teaching based. Like this is about teaching. I want to share some of the lessons I've learned about negotiation and contracts. Yesterday was talking about what I've learned from dogs. And some of the things you may have more experience with, so you might be able to get more out of it, and some of them you won't. I'm just trying to talk with all these live streams about the things that I am passionate about and that I know something about, in hopes that I can get a really cool audience. Because, by the way, if any of you like what I'm sharing, please click like. And if you haven't yet, please click subscribe. Why? When I'm done with this live stream, it's getting recorded right now. It gets posted on YouTube as a regular video, so other people can still watch it, even if they missed it. If there are likes during the live stream, those likes appear when it gets posted. That means someone else who sees it might say, oh, wow, there are 2 likes or 3 likes already. I guess that was a good video. I'll watch it. And certainly when you subscribe, that way when I do another live stream, you're going to get notified. And eventually I'm hoping we'll have, the other day, I had 17 people. I think it was last night. And that was amazing. I've never had 17 people all at once. And so I'm experimenting to see what topics draws people in the most. Is it the tutorials like this? Is it talking about silly stuff? Is it talking about my life? And by the way, Violetta, there are less questions and comments in this chat than there are in the other chats. So as I mentioned, I kind of morph what I talk about based on what people are saying and the questions that people are asking. So what do you mean you're growing? Growing in what sense? Am I going to be 6'2" finally? I heard that after 40 you grow an extra 3 inches. So I'm excited for that. Nacho, Federico, you guys are going to get to experience the extra 3 inches of height growth too soon. Very cool. This idea of, why am I passionate about George is saying, reasons why you shouldn't subscribe to me. You're already subscribed. There is no other reason. Subscribe. George Barnasby. Let's give a shout out to this man. By the way, I think we should all, I'm just talking about height. I was not being pornographic, Nacho. Get your mind out of the gutter, my friend. I'm just joking that maybe in the 40s I'll grow an extra few inches in height. Because Violetta said earlier, you're growing. I don't know if she meant in terms of my subscribers, or I'm growing as a person, or I'm growing as a YouTuber. I'm not sure. By the way, George, how did you find me? I think you're also on the WhatsApp group. I'm curious to know a little bit more about you and where we met, if you can remind me. Was it in New York? I think it was in New York. Oh, and subscribers. Yeah, Violetta, this is what's blowing my mind, is that by just doing these live streams, I'm growing as a YouTuber in subscribers. It's weird. And guys, any of you guys who have YouTube channels or want to have YouTube channels, I've been struggling with YouTube. I was a member of YouTube before Google bought it. I joined in 2005, I think, when I got back from Iraq, and Google bought YouTube in 2006. So you'd think that I would be a super multimillionaire YouTuber, but I haven't figured it out yet. Until now, I think I have. Videos are great for people who have already subscribed to you. But it's very rare when I would do a video, I would post a video and I would get 10 new subscribers. I got 12 new subscribers yesterday from one live stream. 12. And the only thing that I'm thinking, yeah, Google owns YouTube, Violetta. Google owns a lot of things. This is why when you sign up for Gmail, you already basically have access to a YouTube account. You just need to create the name. You're not dumb. I'm sure there are a lot of people who don't know that Google bought YouTube. But I'm actually reading this book right now. All right, where's the book? It's in my It's in my bedroom. 1 second. Let me get this book, because if any of you want to learn more about YouTube and you're serious about it, read this book. The YouTube Formula by Daryl Eyes. How anyone can unlock the algorithm to drive views, build an audience, and grow revenue. And the book, I forget about the book. I'm just saying, it's like, I don't know why I'm getting more subscribers by doing the live stream. Maybe it's because I'm a better speaker than I am a video maker. I don't know. But it's so incredible. If you like to talk and you have something you can talk about passionately, and you have the ability to keep talking just like I'm talking, and look at these people in the comments and interact with them, I think people are subscribing because they're quote unquote, falling in love with me, my personality, and who I am. Whereas when I just post a YouTube video, it's about the video. When you subscribe to me because of the live stream here, it's because you like me. And so I think that's why, if you've got a nice personality, doing the live streams is a great way to get subscribers. And then I'm hoping that some of you guys who subscribe, you will end up watching some of my videos. And now the videos, I'm going to get watch time from doing the videos, but I'm getting more subscribers by doing this. Let me read that. Violetta, I know you can buy the book online. I bought it online and it got shipped to me from Amazon. Let me see. Nacho Ruins Hens. I was browsing YouTube Shorts and your live stream came up. Nacho, are you serious? That is so cool. I was trying to figure out how people found me. And it's because browsing YouTube Shorts. Okay, in case you're wondering how I found you, can I get that online? George Barnes, we never met yet. Don't remember 100% how we met, but probably from just reading your life story. I thought you sounded like Ben Franklin, having done so many different things. George, you made my day. I really appreciate that. It's so kind for you to say something like that. And you found it through the same thing. So what's going on? You were actually just going through YouTube Shorts, and this live stream came up? Oh my gosh. I understand now why. When I start my YouTube live stream, I'm able, hey, what's up? Welcome back. You can choose whether to do a vertical orientation or horizontal. But it says it's blocked. When I try to do that, they said, we really recommend, we meaning YouTube, we recommend you do the vertical format. And now I get it. Because more people are, when they're bored or whatever on YouTube, are just going to scroll through the shorts. Not through, because they want to find something quick and easy to entertain them. So now I get it. This live feed ends up on the shorts feed. But what I'm fascinated about is I don't understand how I understand how Nacho found me because he is subscribed to me. How did you guys find me when you were not subscribed to me? I find that really weird. YouTube must have just recommended me to you guys somehow. But anyway, I'm realizing this is why I think this is a good method to build subscribers on YouTube, is because people get to know you. And think about it, people like, I don't know if have any of you have been watching, have any of you gone to watch my TED Talk on YouTube? It's that 15-minute video. Because I kind of feel like this is a much better way to market your YouTube channel and everything else you're doing by just getting people to fall in love with you. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, and I know you're not in love with me, but just as an analogy, you want people to like you. And I really, what do they say? People are more likely to help their friends. Maybe by me doing these live streams, it's helping me to connect with you. I mean, George, he says we've never met. He doesn't remember how we met either, but haven't met in person. But now he gets to know who I am. He just complimented me, telling me I sound like Ben Franklin, having done so many different things in my life. And if any of you are wondering what I've done, what he's talking about, just do a Google search for my name. Search Monroe Mann, and you'll realize I'm not just this one guy who does these YouTube streams. but it's allowing me to create a connection with you. And I like to go back to creating the theme. What's the theme of today is contracts. I just said this live stream is allowing me to create a connection with you. What is that connection? A contract. We have a contract. We have something that's bonding us together. And that's my personality. I've gotten to know some of your personalities from doing this. I mean, Violetta's been here for the last 3 days since I started doing this. Beach Baby has joined every single day. Even though she's spending her time with her family and friends at the beach, she's still finding time to come back here. It's a very interesting thing. And I just really recommend, if any of you have any interest in YouTube or any interest in getting more people to support what you're doing, figure out how to get the confidence to do what I'm doing with this live stream. And maybe you need to do more practice with public speaking first to get more comfortable. Maybe you need to take an improv class so that you're comfortable just randomly talking to people. It's been 45 minutes of me just talking improv. I was reading a tutorial online about how to do live streams. They're saying you need to plan it out meticulously. Make sure you have your script. Make sure you know exactly what, and I'm doing none of that. I break the rules all the time. And I think if you're good at improv, just wing it. My friend, I can see some more comments. I'll go there in a second. My friend Federico, who's on this live stream, he said, you got people to watch you? He goes, every time I've done live streams, it's 0 people. And I think the issue is, every time I start the live stream, there are 0 people waiting, and there are 0 people for the first 2 or 3 minutes. And it's scary to be talking to nobody. But the longer, I think what YouTube does, I think they wait to see if you're going to live stream for more than 2 or 3 minutes. Because the chat room does not open up until like 2 or 3 minutes into the live stream. And I don't think they start to show this live stream on the shorts feed until they think, this guy's actually going to be talking for a while. So if any of you want to do a live stream, be comfortable talking to nobody for 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes when I'm talking, I have 5 people here now. Sometimes it goes down to 0. Who cares? Why? Because it's being recorded and it's going to end up as a regular video on your feed, and you might get more subscribers, you might get more likes, you're going to get more watch time. Let me read some of these comments. Same, yep, really good. Love or hate, but extreme emotions. Real. What, Nacho, what are you talking about? Love or hate, but extreme emotions? And they don't notify me until you're like 2 minutes into your stream. It took me a while to figure it out. And all I can say is if you guys do live streams, do not wait until somebody's there to start talking. You have to start the live stream and just go into it. And if you ever watch the beginning of these live streams, it'll be like I'm talking to a bunch of people, and I'm not. And again, let's go back to contracts. Because the contract that I have with people who watch my videos is that the video is going to start when they press play. Can you imagine how awkward that would be if they press play and it's just me sitting there like this? Waiting. I mean, that after 10 seconds, they're going to go, this guy's crazy. Why is he just standing there? But it's because YouTube's not going to notify anybody. So have the guts to do a live stream and just keep talking. This is another interesting thing too for you guys, if you're interested. At the end of the stream, it tells me how many people were there in total. Doesn't matter how many there for how long. I guarantee you there will be at least 20 to 40 people who are in this live stream. Because now there's 5 people. Whoever just joined might stay for a moment, might stay for 10 seconds, might stay for a minute, might stay for the rest of this stream. It's a strange thing. Just now it's back to 4. So either that person left or somebody else left. Just keep talking. And let me see if there are any other comments. There's something that I've learned about, another negotiation tip is something I call my $1 million theory or my $1 million exercise. And I came up with this when before I was a lawyer. I was making a film, and I got a B-list actor interested in playing the lead role. And I ended up getting this agency in Los Angeles on the phone. And then the agency passed me to the law firm for this movie star. And I'm trying to negotiate. And I was very young at the time. I think I was like 24, 23. I was not a lawyer, did not have an MBA, didn't have a master's in entrepreneurship, had never made a movie. So A-list actor is Tom Cruise. A B-list actor is somebody who's less famous. A C-list actor is someone even less famous. And a D-list actor is somebody who is really... Kathy Griffin, she wrote a book called My Life on the D-List. Because she's a comedian. People know her, this and that, but she's not getting paid $30 million to be a star in a film. She'll maybe get paid a little bit of money to be a small character type of thing. And I remember these two things that this lawyer said to me on the phone. Lawyer said, first, he said, "You're not a lawyer, so shut up." And then I was like a 23-year-old, and I was trying to make a movie, and I just felt horrible. And then I was trying to blah, 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 blah. And then this lawyer was saying, this actor is going to have control over casting, control over the director, control over final cut, control over location scouting. I'm thinking, it's now this guy's movie. And I tried, blah, 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 blah. And I said, we can't do this. He goes, look, it's not negotiable. And it stung so much. And I'm thinking, what the heck can I do? Long story short, and fast forward, I got deployed to Iraq before all those negotiations concluded. The movie fell apart. I went to Iraq with the army and did my tour of duty. And while I'm in Iraq, this is going on in my head all the time. You're not a lawyer. It's not negotiable. You're not a lawyer. It's not negotiable. And so I vowed, okay, if I can survive this war, when I get back home, I'm gonna become a lawyer. And so I went to law school, and now, today, when I'm ever in these negotiations, when people give me a hard time and they go, "What, are you a lawyer?" I go, "I am a lawyer, and I'm a damn good one." And then they go, "It's not negotiable." It is negotiable. And so this is what I want to talk about. Obviously, you don't have to become a lawyer. But I will tell you this, if you become a lawyer, it makes negotiations a lot easier because people are scared of you. People are scared that you know more about them, and they think that you're going to try to pull the wool over their eyes and all that stuff. Use that to your advantage, but again, make sure you negotiate a fair contract that helps them too. Going back to this $1 million theory, when someone says it's not negotiable, I always say, it is negotiable if I can just figure out exactly what you want. And they'll say, you can't deliver that. I go, well, tell me what it is. And maybe they'll say, I want $40 million. Okay, now I know what your price is. Or maybe the person says, I want a date with Avril Lavigne. Okay, might be impossible, might be very difficult, but at least I know what would make this person negotiate with me. Or what do you want? I want to be your exclusive supplier for toilets for the next 20 years. Aha, maybe my company cannot do that, but at least I know what this person wants. And I wrote a book called Guerrilla Networking with J. Conrad Levinson. And the concept of that is traditional networking is meeting people, but guerrilla networking is becoming the type of person other people want to meet. And you said, that's me saying I want to date with Marilyn Monroe. Well, that's different because Marilyn Monroe is not alive. But it doesn't mean it's a dead end. I told some of you on the last one of these screencasts, go to Apple and take their Apple Vision Pro virtual reality demo. It's free. It's 30 minutes. You sign up online or you can sign up in the store. And it's amazing. And literally, I think with this Apple Vision Pro, I could give you a date with Marilyn Monroe using this virtual reality technology. And it would give you the exact same feeling as if you were actually out to dinner with her. And it would look like she's right in front of your face. And set it up so there's an actual artificial intelligence conversation with her. So believe it or not, I could probably get you a date with Marilyn Monroe, Violetta. There's a way to do it. But this is what, when someone says it's not negotiable, it just means you have not found that person's quote unquote $1 million. For some people, they want money, $1 million. For other people, they want a date with Marilyn Monroe. If you can figure out what it is and then deliver on that, guess what? That non-negotiable point is now back on the table and is now in full play. Nacho wrote, Elon Musk says we may be living in virtual reality already and we can't tell the difference. That's the whole premise of that movie, The Matrix, which is, if any of you have not seen The Matrix, go see all those movies. It's very interesting commentary. And when you watch the virtual reality demo from Apple Vision Pro, oh my gosh, you can literally, when I took off the thing, I felt weird because I felt I was in reality. And when I took it off, I'm like, I felt jolted. Like, where the heck am I now? And, you know, again, we're talking about contracts again, too. Apple Vision Pro has a contract to make sure that we're not nauseous and that this doesn't hurt our mental health. I think the Vision Pro could both help depressed people, but could also make it worse. And I think people could get very easily addicted to virtual reality. And then you don't work or interact with anybody in real life. You are just in these weird virtual reality worlds. Let's see what Nacho says here. Nacho wrote, he says if we want to be playing ping pong on a computer 40 years ago to gaming with connectivity and virtual reality at this rate, at some point we won't be able to tell the difference. And how do we know it has not happened already? It's frightening. And it's true. And this is, again, why that movie, The Matrix, is so fascinating. Because they thought that they were living in the real world. They thought they had a contract with the real world. But really, they were living in pods and being controlled and consumed by computers who used human blood to sustain their bio chemistry as computers. So this idea of contracts is it's not just legal. And I think this is a good time, by the way, to say, if you haven't yet, love you to click like if you're enjoying what you're hearing, and please, of course, subscribe. If you have any questions about contracts and negotiation, put those in the chat. This is crazy. My brain wrinkles can't handle this. I'm trying to think how to link The Matrix and what we're talking about VR with contracts. I think right now we have a contract with reality, or so we think. And I think, again, as I told you before, think twice before you sign something. Always read a contract before you get involved. Virtual reality is the same thing. Before you get so immersed into it, be careful. I really, really, really want to purchase an Apple Vision Pro. It's $3,500. So it's not something, right now it's a luxury for me and like a fun thing, an experiment. It's not something I need for business. It's not something that's going to make me money immediately. So it's just a fun thing. But I definitely want to buy one of them because I want to delve more into that and see how that can potentially help me psychologically, business-wise, socially. Having Zoom calls with people, and it's in VR and it's virtual reality. You can see them. We've got a lot of comments here. How do you subscribe if you're not subscribed? So if you're not, you can click on my name. There may be a subscribe button too. I haven't seen how to do the live stream. I haven't seen. Hey, maybe can one of you take a screenshot of, maybe Nacho or Federico, since you guys talk to me regularly. Can you take a screenshot of what you're seeing on the screen and then text it to me? Because then I'll be able to know what you guys are seeing. But basically, click on my name, click subscribe. And if you want to get notified of when I'm doing these live streams, don't just be subscribed. It's got to be subscribed and then notifications on and for all notifications. That way, every time I go live, it'll give you a notice. Should be a button beside the three dots. If it's not there, then go to his page and do it. Oh, you guys are taking care of it yourselves. So, like, wrapping this up in a little bit. Haha, Violetta, you haven't yet earned the right to have my phone number. That will be, maybe one day if I have enough subscribers and I get monetized, you know how like I can sell gifts? Maybe for $100, you get to buy Monroe's phone number. I'm just kidding. So Federico is my best friend here in Florida. We hang out with all the time. And Nacho is my business partner. We work together doing marketing for the TEDx talks that we did. So, hey, Violetta, why are you crying? I told you if you get your mom's permission and you have her send me an email giving me permission to work with you, we will do a live stream together. How do you like them apples? So don't be crying to me and saying RIP. Go cry to your mama and say, Mom, I got business to do with Monroe Mann. He just talked to me about contracts, and we got a contract that we got to get in writing with that guy so that I can do live streaming. That's right. All right. Any questions about contracts or negotiation? We're probably finishing up in about 5 minutes. Contracts or negotiation. So while I want to summarize again, talking about that $1 million things. You are in negotiations every day. Violetta, you're in a negotiation with your mom right now to get permission from her to allow me to invite you to a live stream. So realize that this contract law is not just for people in business. You are negotiating with your parents every day. If you have kids, you're negotiating with your kids every day. If you have friends and you're inviting them to do something, you're negotiating with them every day. And those are all oral contracts. Once you agree on something, it's an oral contract. I keep mentioning this book here. Hold on. I've mentioned it many times. My friend Jonathan Stewart, who some of you may have met, he was the screenwriter who was on the live stream yesterday. This book will help you with your negotiations. $100 million offers, how to make offers so good people feel stupid saying no. Why does that help you with negotiations? Because negotiations start by you making an offer. You have to make a good offer. So amazing. Now, this is what's strange. I'm so thrilled that you guys are here and listening to me. Somehow I've created an offer that you guys felt was so good that you would feel stupid saying no. What was the offer? Hey, come and watch me live streaming. And you accepted it because you're here. But you need to do that with everything that you do, like talking with your mom, Violetta. You have to make an offer so good that your mom feels stupid saying no. So you have to say, Mom, this is a great chance for me to grow my YouTube channel. It's a chance for me to connect with a lawyer. It's a chance for me to learn about YouTubing. It's a chance for me to become a better public speaker. And it doesn't cost anything, Ma. The guy's just going to do a live stream with me. Like, boom. That is a good offer. Let's look at some questions here. What made you interested in contract law? It was specifically what happened with that agent there and saying it's not negotiable. They had sent me a contract and it was just horrible. It was completely in favor of this B-level star. It was very disrespectful to me as a filmmaker. And I realized I want to be able to negotiate and draft and rewrite contracts so that I never get in a position where I am getting taken advantage of. Next question. Was it your experience in the entertainment industry? Yeah, 100%. The entertainment industry is, all it is contracts. Contracts run. Nothing happens in show business unless you have stupid idiots who don't listen to me. But everything, I mean, there are, in a feature film, probably 500 different contracts with actors, with directors, with writers, with gaffers, with key grips, with editors, with production assistants, with distribution companies. The whole thing is run and controlled by contracts. And in general, the world runs on contracts. Again, we would not be here if you didn't sign the contract with your computer company, if I didn't sign the contract with Apple, which gave me this phone to do this live stream on, if all of us didn't sign the contract with YouTube, contracts are what is making the world possible. What are punitive damages? So let's just use copyright as an example, or let's use personal injury. I will do let's say my client slips and falls and breaks his leg, and we sue the apartment building for actual damages, which are, it cost my client $25,000 to get his leg fixed, and he lost $100,000 of business. So that's actual damages, $125,000. But let's say the jury decides this landlord has been negligent for 20 years. This is the third time people have gotten injured because they didn't put the right tile outside the front doors, so they're always slippery. The jury can say, we're going to give punitive damages to my client of $2 million, meaning it has nothing to do with making my client whole again. My client got the $100,000 in lost income and got the $25,000 for the broken leg, but they're getting another $2 million to kind of stick it to the landlord, the defendant, to try to, it's punitive, which means punishment. So the jury and the judge are trying to punish this defendant to try to encourage them to never do this again, but also to give a message to every other landlord, because they're going to hear that, oh my gosh, did you hear that this landlord had to pay $2 million in punitive damages? Punitive damages spreads far and wide as a message. If you do what this landlord did, you're going to get $2 million of punitive, maybe even more. So you want to make sure, if you run a business, I keep getting disconnected. I don't know why. Let me make sure I plug into the charger. I don't want to lose. 1 second. Give me 2 seconds. Grabbing the cord. All right. So you have kids, my bunnies. So you need to realize you have a contract with your bunnies. And they sometimes negotiate with you. Your little bunny rabbits, I'm sure when they're hungry, they do something. Maybe they go, or they do something with their hand. My mom, the dog that my mom and I have, whenever she's hungry, oh my gosh, she starts going around in circles and going, We know, because that dog is trying to negotiate with us for food. This is what I'm trying to let you guys know. Negotiation is happening all the time. It's not just for business people. And I'm glad that you guys are sticking in and watching this. Your bunnies are negotiating. And you have a contract with your bunny to do what? To feed it, to clean it, to take it to the vet. And Nacho just wrote a funny comment saying Monroe is an improv legend. My phone just fell on my face. I'm very sorry, Violetta. I think if you got injured when your phone fell on your face, we might be able to file a lawsuit. And maybe, if it's their fault, and they were really horrible for allowing this to happen, you can get punitive damages. Let's do it. Let's do it. I have to admit, Nacho just wrote in a group chat, another group chat, just saying, wow, this guy's an improv legend talking about me. And it made me feel so good because I'm having such a great time doing these live streams. And I feel like I'm really helping people. And I'm glad you guys are entertained. And I'm hoping I'm hoping you're learning something rather than just being entertained, because I don't think it's good for people to just spend all their hours on virtual reality or scrolling through TikTok or scrolling through YouTube. I want to make sure that these live streams, when you tune in, you're gaining something of value and feel like, hey, I'm a better person because I listened to Monroe's live stream. And so I think you just said I am. So I'm happy to hear that. So your homework, guys, is to practice. I want you to just look. Actually, I'm going to give you 2 lessons. One it has to do with negotiation too, but it's more about public speaking. Do you notice that I never say like, you know, So many people, when they're speaking, they do that. Instead, what do? I close my mouth. If I don't know what I want to say, I smile and look at you. That is one of the best negotiation things you can learn, because if you are trying to make an offer and you're going, people are going to think, who is this idiot? And they're going to lose trust in you. You're going to lose faith in you. And then they're not even going to listen to the offer that you make. So that's your first lesson. I want you to start listening to the people around you. How often do they say like, you know, so, and other filler words? They say them far more often than you will ever realize. And they will start to annoy you. And then you're going to start to hear yourself saying it, and it's going to start to annoy you. The mission is eventually I want you to stop saying those filler words, because it's going to make you a great negotiator. Number 2, I want you to start making a list tomorrow. You can start tonight or tomorrow. Every negotiation that you did during the day. Maybe you go to McDonald's and just go, oh, hi, I'd like to get a Big Mac. You just made an offer. That's basically, and you're hoping that they're going to say yes. They might not. They might say, I'm sorry, our hamburger machine didn't arrive today, or our hamburgers are all sold out, or our refrigerator is broken. Now you got to figure out, oh gosh, I got to do a counter offer. What do I need to do? You are negotiating. You are creating a contract. And if you give money, guess what? You just made a deal. So those are your 2 homework things. I think there's just a few more questions here. Let me see what they are. How would someone who's interested in contract law learn more about it? The first thing is start. You can just, I would get a basic. You can buy a book on Amazon like Basic Contract Law. NOLO. I wish I could type in the chat room. Isn't that annoying? I can start a poll. I'm going to start a poll. Let's see if you like this. You guys are going to last. Ready? Here's the poll, guys. I have no idea how this is going to work, but I got 1 vote. Let's see. 2 votes, 3 votes. Very cool. 4 votes. Wow. You know, if you guys do live streams, it does not tell you, like, the number of votes is more than it says that the number of people that are actually in the chat. So anyway, we did that funny little test poll there to see how this works. Let me see. Wow, 100% said yes. I'm ending the poll. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing. Whoa. So for those of you just joining, we just did a silly poll. I was just learning how to use the poll feature, and it was, do you like me? And it was unanimous. Everybody on this live stream likes me. Really, really excited. Laughing out, man. What was the question before? How would someone who's interested in contract law learn more about it? Get a book, search on Amazon. There's a book on, I think NOLO is the publisher, NOLO. And just type NOLO contract law. You can also just search for basic contract principles on Amazon and get a book there. I would also just do a Google search for contracts. And you'll find a bunch of sample contracts. Go to the images, you'll find PDFs of real contracts that people have signed. Start reading them. And you'll start to see, oh my gosh, this kind of clause appears in almost every single contract I'm reading. Oh, you know what? This looks fascinating. And if you don't understand a clause, what do? Again, go back to ChatGPT or go to Google and go, what is a venue? And it'll say, oh, a venue is the court system, the location where you would file an actual lawsuit. And that's important because let's say you live in California and you're doing business with an Indian company and the venue says in the contract, any lawsuits must be brought in New Delhi, India for the venue. Well, that's really important to know that if you want to sue them, you got to go to India or you got to hire an Indian attorney. What about want to hear my offer? Hooah. I think the first part will work, want to hear my offer. The hooah will only work if somebody is in the military, who has seen Scent of a Woman, or who understands what hooah is. Otherwise, people are going to think you're absolutely crazy bonkers. And let's see, Violetta, you are blushing. I am blushing because you guys love me, and it makes me feel really amazing. I don't have a lot of people who love me, and I have 4 people now who just said that they love me. ChatGPT, we were talking about that earlier. ChatGPT is an excellent tool to give you a general idea, but you have to be careful because ChatGPT is wrong sometimes. And just like our lawyers wrong sometimes too, 100%. However, with ChatGPT, you can't really ask, are you 100% certain? Where with a lawyer, you can maybe get a little certitude, said, yes, I've seen this a million times. This is exactly what I did, blah, blah. I think I'm going to hit the sack because I'm so tired. I'm going to follow your lead. That's an offer that I'm going to accept because I think it's 10:20. I need to finish reading that book on $100 million offers. And I hope you, how about this? What are you guys, put one thing in the chat that you're going to do tonight to help improve your life. It could be a very tiny thing. It could be brushing your teeth. It could be reading a little bit of a book. What I'm going to do is read this book. I'm going to work on finishing this book. I got about 10 more pages so that I can put together better offers myself. Anyone else want to share what they are going to do? Go to bed early. Absolutely, that's fantastic. Sleep. Good. That's going to help your future. Good. I want you to think also, those answers are fine. Always try to think farther into the future. Going to bed early certainly will help, but it's really only going to impact tomorrow. Whereas me reading 10 pages in this book, that's going to help me for the rest of my life. Now, planning a trip, that's kind of in between. You're not going to be able to do it tomorrow, and you go on the trip, maybe it's in a month or 2 months or a year, but you're going to have those memories for the rest of your life. So that's something that could really potentially help you in the future. Close my eyes. How is that helping? Look, I'm closing my eyes. That's not helping me in my future. I don't know how that's helping you in your future. But anyway, guys, it's been real. I appreciate this. I'm so excited that I got some people that are regulars who keep coming back. Hope I've inspired you. Remember, don't say I'm liking you know. And number 2, try to look and make a list of every negotiation and contract you get involved with tomorrow. Make a list because I guarantee you have about 50 contracts that you engage with every single day with the people that you work with. All right, Violetta's future is to sleep. So, on that note, sleep well, guys. Please remember, subscribe, click like. Please visit breakdiving.io. If you like my personality and stuff, I've created a community of people around the world where we all help each other achieve great things. It's free to join. The link is in the description, breakdiving.io. Thanks, guys. George, sleep well. Violetta, sleep well. Nacho, sleep well. Federico, sleep well. And Mikhail, sleep well. I don't know if anyone else is here. See you guys next time. Love ya. Bye-bye.